All right, this is day number 22. Let's get on over to Pro Tools and take a listen back. All right, here we go. So this idea I came up with years ago. It was just like this flute pad. I was messing around learning how to use the Logic sampler probably like 2 or 3 years ago when I was in college. And so I had recorded like just notes on my keyboard just as like individual, like each individual chord I recorded separately and then mapped those chords to a single key on the keyboard so I could like trigger it with MIDI and then recorded that. And at that time I just had that. And so I was going through, I've been using Logic a lot recently because I've been teaching I've been TAing for a music production class at a high school, and everything they do is in Logic because it's like a very accessible program for people just getting into it. So I was just looking at my old Logic sessions and I was like, whoa, what's this thing? And I was like, dude, this is a great idea that I could like fully realize into a full song. So that's what I did for this one. That's what I ended up doing. Again, with the one from day 20 is the challenge of like, it's just the same chord progression over and over. So I'm getting these different sections with just the arrangement and like instruments coming in and dropping out to maybe the drum groove, simplifying or going to the hi-hat versus going to the ride cymbal. We could actually talk about some drum programming things here. I'm going to open up the MIDI editor. This is a trick that I like to do. Oh, my scroll wheel is like super sensitive. Let's go over to maybe the verse and you can see, yeah, where I alternate these hi-hats. Like the one hi-hat sound for the downbeat is on one and then the upbeat is on the other sample, like the other kind of like MIDI note, so that you kind of get like if a real player was playing the hi-hat and then kind of get that up-down motion. I can't really demonstrate it well, but that's what I'm trying to emulate here by having these on different notes so that it sounds a little more realistic. And then even the ride pattern in the chorus and interlude here, I'm still like messing with the velocities to get it to have that feel like if a real person was hitting that cymbal. Yup. And then same thing with the ghost notes and the snare. Just wanted to talk about that because I just noticed it right now and I was looking at it. You can see the alternating hi-hat patterns. So there's a secret trick for you for free. I'm giving that away for free. You can go use that. Highly recommend it. Makes drums sound super realistic. And also, it's worth getting a drum plugin or some kind of like MIDI drums that even have that, because sometimes they just have one hi-hat sound and that's all you get. So find one that's got like at least 3 different hi-hat sounds. Make your life much easier and much cooler, make your drums sound way more realistic. Yep, there we go. Tight ending. Gotta have a tight ending on a song like this. Alright, we could talk about, oops, wrong thing, wrong shortcut. We could talk about the mix. This one's pretty straightforward, just have one synth, and then the guitars and bass and drums, pretty straightforward. Addictive drums again, using, what am I using? Vintage Bloom? What's that one off of though? I don't even know. Either the Vintage Dead or, it's probably Vintage Dead, honestly. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, I can tell just by like these, what the drums are. This is from that set. I really love these crashes. I don't know if these crashes are from that set, but on all my drum patches, I pretty much every single time I'm replacing them with these Istanbul trads. Like they sound really good. They sound really good on a lot of stuff. Even like the indie kit has really some more bright cymbals, but I kind of like that dark, like washy sound as opposed to the like crunchy sound like the Geode cymbals. So yeah, there we go. Addictive drums. Of course, EQing everything that I possibly can to make it sound good. Even though I like this on Addictive drums, this works really well because they have a sample for like the snare buzz that I think is really pleasant. On a real snare, it's usually not as nice, and you probably don't want to boost that. But in this, I think it sounds good just to have that bump in the high end to get the snare to have a little more rattle, a little more life, accented a little bit more. And then the same thing in the hi-hat. I'm boosting the highs. And same with the overheads. Cut the lows, boost the highs. That's the basics of EQ. And then going over here to the bass, Rock Rack again. Shout out Rock Rack. I should just make some presets for the bass because they just have one. Everything else is guitar and they just have bass amp. So but I change it every time. So I'm thinking like I should save some user presets so I can reuse my bass, just like I save the Addictive Drums presets. Oh, I forgot to look at my Townhouse, but this is a set and forget. I always have it on the same settings. I'm not really even hitting it on this one. Yeah, I didn't even put it in on this one. I probably just used the Addictive Drums compressor because I thought it sounded better. Yeah, you can see I'd have to comp in here. Comping probably... Nope, never mind. I'm not going to the channel. I took that back, but I am comping the overheads in the room and the master, yeah, so that's why I didn't use the Townhouse. Back over to here. Oops. Don't look at this screen. I'm not EQing the bass at all. Okay, cut, restart. You didn't see that. I should have EQ'd that. And then this is pretty much a set and forget too. My Distressor, I have it dialed to a setting that I really like. And my bass playing is pretty consistent. So, yeah, there we go. There it is again. Distressor. Love the Distressor. Really well on bass. Oh, and the secret trick, another secret trick give away for free. Put the high pass filter on the detector so you don't overload the compressor when you're put on bass. Secret trick. And the same thing with the Townhouse, if I were to use it. I put the sidechain filter at 120 for that same effect, so that the kick drum doesn't like trigger the compressor a lot and overcompress stuff. So there you go, another free tip for you. I'm just giving these away. Who wants a tip on the music creation side or the mixing side? I'll give them away. All right, I'm getting distracted. I'll give you another one. Here I can think of a third one for free. Cut the lows, boost the highs. That's all you got to do on guitars. Cut the lows, cutting 800, cutting the cutting 120 for the bass, so that has space to breathe. Cutting around 800, cutting around that harmonic after that, around 1500, 1600, and then I just boost the highs. Same thing here. Cut the lows, boost the highs. I wonder what I did here. Oh, you'll never even believe it. Cut the lows, boost the highs. Folks, cut the lows, boost the highs. That's all you gotta do. I probably even did it on this reverb. Oh no, I cut the highs. It's probably because of the cymbals and that like really like, or the snare like reverberating in the room a lot is why I cut that out. But sometimes I don't. Sometimes I boost it. All right, it's been 2.5 playthroughs now, so I think this is going to be enough content to talk about. I need to go over back to the edit window. Pause this. Back to me. Thanks for watching. In the description is a link to my SoundCloud that has all these songs that are just the tracks. And if you're curious about what plugins I use, if you couldn't remember from the video, it's linked in the description too, like the names of all of it, so you can easily just look it up and see exactly what it is and try it out for yourself. Highly recommend everything I use, of course, because I'm biased, because it's what I use, but I use it because I think it's really high quality. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. Goodbye.